What is good, Cluttered people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalam, traveling back to the year 1993 to medically evaluate Playboi Carti's mental state, because from the results of his feature on Drake's mixtape, he must have been in a lot of pain for him to completely drop the ball like that. However, upon arrival, I realized he hadn't even been born yet, so I have concluded that his dad must have been kicked in the balls so hard that year that the pain genes were passed on to Carti. For as many of you are aware, Playboi Carti and Drake collaborated on a very highly anticipated track titled Pain 1993 that released on May 1st of this year on Drake's briefly mentioned Dark Lane demo tapes, giving Carti, as with any other artist that appears on the same song as Drake, a massive opportunity to skyrocket his trajectory as a mainstream musician. Yet even Carti fans were left wondering what happened afterwards. In fact, we haven't heard from Mans in like months at this point. On the other hand though, Lil Durk, a Chicago native rapper that featured on Drake's most recent single, likely leading up to his upcoming album Certified Lover Boy, seemingly capitalized on the opportunity tenfold given his exponential increase in all-around statistics just from one short verse on a music video, leading me to question why exactly there was such a discrepancy between the results of Playboi Carti's cosign and Lil Durk's. Let's talk about it. Okay, so before we actually analyze Playboi Carti and Lil Durk's specific verses and songs with Drake individually, I thought we should get a brief history lesson on the Drake effect, or in other words, the phenomenon by which Drake's mere affiliation with a song and or music video, whether it's his song or another artist as a feature, significantly increases its exposure and chances of becoming a mainstream hit. This may be due to his insurmountable reach as a public figure within the last decade, or simply because the quality of his music is that undeniable and consistent. In all actuality though, it's likely a combination of both, as they work hand in hand most of the time. But as I was saying, it is no secret that Drake essentially has the power to change any artist's, or person's for that matter, life for the better at any instant, even if it's merely just a quick cosign on his Instagram story. But a song with Drake can launch them to the next level of superstardom. A popular radio hostess from Hot 97 New York, Miss Info, summarized it pretty well, stating, "A Drake feature is still one of the most powerful and valuable things that you can have in terms of that first look." Some easy examples that most of you are probably well aware of already include Blockboy JB with their collab titled Look Alive, by which the general public even thought the track was Drake's song because he did so well on it. But either way, the song peaked at number 5 and brought Blockboy a surprising amount of mainstream fame, considering the type of artist he was, typically releasing very hood and trap type music that would normally never hit the US Billboard. Perhaps Blockboy JB wasn't the best example though, for his career has fallen off since, but I would really only explain this as the inevitable due to his genre that isn't generally embraced by the mainstream. Better examples linked to a successful dose of the Drake effect might include Lil Baby's Yes Indeed remix, wherein hip-hop listeners actually believed Baby to body Drake on the track with his own verse, probably the reason for Baby's much more significant rise than the rest of the Drake effect contenders. Obviously, Baby already had a solid following at the time and was growing at a steady rate as it was, but the point still remains, Drake brought him to the next level of superstardom, whether he was going to reach it on his own or not. And now look at Baby selling hundreds of thousands of equivalent album units every month with his latest album My Turn. But again, maybe that was all due to his talent as a rapper and songwriter, so I'll list one last artist who most definitely benefited from the Drake effect, although I know for a fact this will be controversial to many of his fans, and that rapper is Future, who just like Lil Baby had his own thing going on in the streets, predicated upon his pure talent and ability. DS2 remains one of my favorite projects ever. However, Future didn't really gain his mainstream success until his collab tape with Drake titled What a Time to Be Alive, and the rest was history. Future was forever solidified in the rap game, known by the hood and suburban kids alike, signing his own artists, utilizing his own reputation and clout similar to the Drake effect, just in his own way. But we can't forget Drake proves time and time again that his influence still exists, for Future's resurgence and relevance as of late has come directly from his collab with Drake on Life is Good, resulting in Future's top streamed song on his High Off Life album. Another very similar example like this lies with Meek Mill, whose occasional Drake feature will add extra spicy sauce that takes that song to the Billboard top 10. But I think y'all get the point now. Drake got the golden touch, at least for now. The whole concept for this very video actually instigated from a meme, as surprising as that sounds, wherein the caption stated, "Lil Durk did what Carti was supposed to do on Pain 1993, essentially referring to the fact that Lil Durk capitalized off the Drake effect with his feature, whereas Playboi Carti, objectively speaking, did not, as we briefly discussed in the intro. That is not to say Carti did not benefit whatsoever from his look on Drake's song, but he definitely did not live up to the same level as Lil Durk and the many other artists that I used as examples in the previous section, such as Baby, Future, Meek, etc. Pain 1993 could have been a long-lasting hit for both Drake and Carti had Carti's verse been perceived in a much better light to the mainstream. In fact, when just a looped snippet of Drake's chorus leaked back in like late 2019, Carti fans were already bumping to it in the whip and Carti hadn't even said a word yet, although he had some ad-libs throughout the snippet, but you get the point. The song had undeniable potential, even reaching number 7 on the Hot 100 Billboard just off the hype. However, only 3 weeks later, the song completely fell off the charts, similar to Playboi Carti's significant gain in monthly listeners from its original Drake effect boost, and even Carti's latest single, At Me. All because of Playboi Carti's rather experimental baby voice that the general public honestly wasn't acclimated to yet. For Carti's music, for most fans, is an acquired taste, aging like a fine wine. You may not understand the hype at first, given there's no real substantive lyrics to speak of, but once you understand the whole vibe and bounce to it, there's no going back. You know what they say about never mind, you know Iggy Azalea be chilling right now. In Lil Durk's case though, on Drake's most recent single, Laugh Now, Cry Later, I believe the reason for such a discrepancy in the Drake effect boost in their status as a rapper can be explained by a very similar concept in that Durk played it rather safe on his verse. Not that he rapped any differently than he normally does on his solo work, but overall his sound is nothing astronomically different from the mainstream pop hip-hop sound of slightly auto-tuned melodic vocals. In fact, I'd say Lil Durk's strongest appeal in his music is his lyrics, not necessarily his sound. Therefore, when the massive Drake audience first heard Lil Durk's song, they weren't as off-put as they were with Carti's indescribable or unpredictable flows. Hence why Laugh Now, Cry Later debuted at number 2 on Billboard, right behind Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP this past week, although in my opinion deserved number 1 and will most likely stay in the top 10 range for months to come. Not to mention, Lil Durk's monthly listeners have almost doubled from 6 million the day prior to the single's release to 10 million the day after, and likely this will result in fans checking out the rest of his discography, or at the least his latest album, accumulating Durk residual streams off of Laugh Now, Cry Later, and more importantly, money. Lastly, before we head out, I think it's also important to note that Lil Durk was also featured in Drake's high-budget music video for the song, which could also have had a significant impact on why Durk benefited so much from the song, rather than my whole argument. However, in my defense, I do believe one of the reasons Drake chose this song as opposed to Carti's Pain 1993 to shoot a music video was due to the aforementioned reasons listed. Hopefully Drake gives Carti another chance on his next album, Certified Lover Boy, but I really doubt it. So with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off, crying now and laughing never, because Carti didn't get his rightfully deserved clout from the Drake effect. Let me know in the comments why you think Durk's feature went off as opposed to Carti. Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it for the latest hip-hop news, drama, and analysis videos, as well as to follow me on all my socials in the description and join the Bob gang if you with it. Oh, and if you haven't checked out my latest song, I just dropped it on the Whole Lotta Bob channel and all platforms, so make sure to go do that if you haven't already. Peace out, Carti people. Know what I'm saying?